Okay, so now we know that devices are initialized as a virtual machine. Devices are provisioned with basic reachability information, connectivity, system IP, and also the device certificate. So now, how they exchange the certificate, and by exchanging the device certificate, how they trust, and then how control plane connection comes up. So components brings up whitelisting and the you can say basically the control plane connections between them. So VHs and controllers whitelist. So administrator adds controllers vsmart vbound on the vmanage, can trigger CSR generation, forwarding to the certificate authority, retrieval and installation of signed CSR as a certificate back into controllers. And the next thing, controllers list is distributed by vmanage to all the other controllers. So remember, controllers are whitelisted and controller informations are distributed to others. So you just think about vmanage perspective. So we logged into vmanage. It did not see anything apart from the local information. We whitelisted the controllers. So we added, for example, vsmart 1 and we added vbond 1. And for these devices, we initialized the certificate process and everything. Now, once the vsmart is successfully added, vbond is successfully added. So vbond information is advertised to vsmart and vsmart information will be advertised to vbond. So first distribution takes place through vmanage. So vmanage is the one, the whitelisted or added controller informations could be distributed with each other. Obviously, what happened? Vbound will know in this fabric vmanage and vmanage IP address, and then vsmart and then vsmart information. So it is going to have the vmanage details as well as vsmart details, and in vsmart this is going to have the vmanage details, and also this is going to be available with the vbond details in the whitelisted database. So vh, sorry, vbond. Okay. So controller list is distributed. Then we have to whitelist the WAN edges. So digitally signed vEdge list is provided by Viptela or Cisco, and this is uploaded into vmanage by the administrator. So second task, we have to upload the WAN edges list information. That means this file, this signed vEdge list will have the chassis ID of each WAN edges to be permitted, chassis ID, and if it is a physical box associated with the certificate, and then serial number of the certificate, both will be like available in it. So vEdge list, the permitted chassis ID, and then serial number. So this informations are updated here. That means we are whitelisting the vantages. Even the whitelisted information about the vantages gets distributed by vmanage. So vEdge list is distributed by vmanage to all the controllers. Okay, so we could find VH informations are available in the VBond, and VH informations are available in the vSmart, and controller informations are available across all the controllers. So we do whitelist of edges manually. We do whitelist of controllers manually. This is mandatory and it's an whitelisted design as always. If any controller, any vantage is not whitelisted, obviously this is not trusted and this is not permitted inside the fabric operations.
One question from my side, Parthiban. So
Yeah.
you said, I mean, initially, I'm just recapping this deploying things and all. So, I mean, at first, we need to provide the basic configuration to vbond, vmanage, and vsmart. After those
Mhm.
basic configuration, that is system IP and organization name, this all these controllers should be reachable to each other, right?
Right.
Correct. Second step is that by logging into the vmanage, we need to provide this vbond and vsmart details, right, in order to
Right.
whitelist. Correct.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that these controllers are having the control plane connections or control connections in between, right? Only we are providing the information of vbond and vsmart into vmanage.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So
After,
that means we are providing information to set up the control plane connections. That means
Okay.
the components will know each other, they will talk with each other to form the control. For that, these are all like prerequisites. We are pre-populating all the informations. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. And third step is to, I mean, if we are doing this automated process of certification and all, so third step is to, I mean, generate these CSRs. By instructing from vmanage and all, right? In order to
Correct.
generate those CSRs and getting those device certificate,
Correct. Yeah.
right? Okay, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the controller's perspective, we started analyzing the thing. As I told you, controllers are virtual machines, and definitely they don't have any inbuilt certificate, and they must obtain the certificate from external sources of external CA, and then we need to install it. But when it comes to the vanages, we have certain option. So vanages, physical boxes will have inbuilt certificate. Virtual boxes, they don't have inbuilt certificate. And when they are having inbuilt certificate, so which CA provided certificates are populated in it. So we need to look into that perspective as well. So when we say VH appliances, so VH appliances router identity, so this VH appliances will have the device certificates signed by AVNet and from Viptela software, and they are installed with Symantec root certificate. So device certificate is signed by AVNet, and then root certificate is trusted with Symantec. So we have a difference. Suppose if I have taken the controller certificate from Symantec, now controllers to trust the VH appliances, AVNet, this root certificate we need to update, and vice versa. So the point, what I mean to say it here, trusting will be the second component, but VH appliances will have the inbuilt certificate, which is signed by AVNet certificate authority. So each physical VH router is uniquely identified with its chassis ID and then certificate serial number, and certificate is stored in onboard tamper-proof module during the manufacturing process. Certificate is signed by this and trusted by other control. So Symantec root CA chain, and which is available from Viptela software, what we try to use in it. In the same way, uh, okay, so when we go with the virtual machines, sorry. Okay, suppose if I go with virtual machines like VH Cloud, okay, which is virtual machine based. Okay, now they have the root certificate from Symantec, and this virtual machine will not have any inbuilt certificate. They have to take the certificate from external. Now, there is a flexibility here in the sense like vantages. We are going to have many or more number of vantages into the enterprise network. So these vantages are obtaining external CA certificate, then cost will involve over here. Just for cost cutting, or if there is a situation that I don't want to take digital certificate for the vantages from external sources. Now vmanage can act as internal certificate authority. Optionally, vmanage can issue self-signed certificate to the vantage devices in virtual platform. Or you can say like if a vantage is not available with inbuilt certificate, and it can take the help of internal certificate authority, which is vmanage. From vmanage, it can use its unique certificate. So um, this Viptela based certificate like vmanage will generate a certificate and will be provided for this virtual machine based devices. And how do we get the certificate from vmanage? We have a simple process like OTP, and then token is generated by sending the OTP from vmanage into vmanage. By validating the OTP, vanages will get the certificate. So simply there are 2 points. The first point, virtual machine based routers are the routers with no inbuilt certificate. They have an option to get the device certificate from vmanage to act as an internal certificate authority. Now there is a process to obtain the certificate from vmanage, the second point. And vmanage will generate the dynamic chassis IDs and associated OTP. So one time passwords or token, what you can say it as. So in vmanage, dynamically generated chassis IDs and dynamically generated tokens will be present. In the VMs, we copy the vmanage dynamically generated chassis ID and then token. We take the token and then chassis ID, come back to the VH using the dynamically generated chassis ID and then token. When we are trying to connect to the vmanage pushes. You can use this chassis ID and then associated digital certificate. So vmanage gives a certificate back to the VHs by validating the OTP and the respective token so that managers can use its unique device certificate of it. So the information like VHs can obtain the certificate from vmanage. To obtain the certificate, the local chassis ID is not used for the vanages, and this vmanage provided chassis ID and then vmanage provided the token will be validated to use create the certificate for these boxes. Any questions in this place? VH with no inbuilt certificate and obtain the certificate from vmanage. So don't worry, these steps and these configurations, we will do it because all of our vanages are going to be in the virtual platform. So these vanages will talk to the vmanage, and in the vmanage, they will copy a token and then the respective chassis ID. We will use the vmanage generated token and then the chassis ID, and we will apply it on the VH. So VH will request the vmanage to produce a certificate for it. So this is the one we are going to do it in our side. But if it's a physical box, we don't have to do this because physical box is already available with inbuilt certificate.
So we are going to do this in our lab, right? This
Correct.
deep lab.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
One
Yes.
question, Parth.
So
Yeah, sorry.
sure.
Okay. So the communication between vManage, vBond, and vSmart, we are doing virtual. So in a, for example, if we talk about the Cisco cloud, all this virtually available, and IP which we have allocated, so communication will be done automatically, right?
Yep. That's right.
Right. And one thing probably ahead about the C edges. Can I ask question with one C edges like
Yes, you
JCID?
can.
Yes,
Yeah, you can.
JCID will not be there. For example, if we are talking about the serial number for any ISR router, so that JCID, how the identification is been done.
Okay. So locally available chassis IDs and locally, generated chassis IDs for the VHs or CHs, which is going to need a certificate. So that is ignored. What we are trying to do in vmanage, by uploading the vh list file, vmanage generates the dynamically generated chassis ID and then associated token. That means vmanage generated chassis ID associated token we will use on vanages, so to obtain a certificate from vmanage. So So even if the CH is not available with the locally generated chassis ID, that doesn't matter anyway. It's not going to be used. So we need to copy the chassis ID from vmanage manually, associated token manually by providing use this chassis ID and then associated token. So this new chassis ID and then token is validated by vmanage and issues the self-signed certificate.
Yeah.
Okay. This share disabled.
Yeah, you
It's trying to
share your
re.
sharing
No, I
stop.
think it's trying to reconnect. I'm connected on the voice, but the desktop is not connected.
No, I'm not getting option to unmute myself.
I came as attendee for its own, and we manage will generate, will obtain, will get the certificate CSR from vSmart. We manage will get the CSR from vBond. and all three controller certificate CSR will go to CA, obtain the certificate one by one, it installs. But it doesn't do manual, I mean, it doesn't do automatically. Manually, we will have to do that. So sending the CSR, copy the CSR for V1, copy the CSR for vSmart, and then send it to CR, download the certificate, install CA certificate one for vSmart, certificate two for vBond. So manually we do that, but the progress will happen through vManage.
Okay.
Parthivan, one small question. Like the VBond is authenticating the device with the device certificate, right? So, what is the purpose of using this root CA?
Okay, so root CA, there may be a situation that controllers obtain the certificate from different certificate authorities. If a VBond is taking certificate from one CA, and vSmart is taking the certificate from a different CA, and vManage is taking certificate from a different CA, and vEdges will take certificate from different CA, cEdges will take certificate from CA. So when multiple CA certificates involves in the hierarchy to trust other certificate authorities, this trust comes in, like root CA comes in.
Okay,
Like I have Avnet, I have Symantec, I have Cisco, I have Enterprise. So I will update, okay, a root certificate for CA of Symantec, again root certificate for Avnet, root certificate for Cisco, root certificate for vManager. Like we need to update it.
uh,
That's why this plays a role here.
okay, got it.
Okay, so edges identity and then controllers identity. Um, this point we just discussed certificate based trust, bidirectional certificate based trust between all elements, public or enterprise PKI, whitelist of valid vEdges and controllers. So you can see this is the way, like the whitelisted entry comes in. So device model, so chassis ID and then associated token will be like whitelisted of the edges and whitelisted information about the controllers. This is quite common.
One
We'll
related question. For example, uh, I mean, suppose we will get those information of the controllers because we are the one who is going to deploy those controllers. But for example, whitelisting the VH device. So the time we will procure the things, I mean, from Cisco, then before deploying those VH device, we need to manually, identify and take those chassis number and needs to be mentioned there in manager, right, under device list.
You're perfectly right. A local initialization about the controller we ourselves can do, but uploading the vEdge list, we cannot generate our local file. Even if
Okay.
the file is obtained from Viptela or Cisco, if we try to modify, which is not possible. Again, for control of the device distribution and also licensing, they have a strict mechanism. I don't know how they are doing it, but we don't have any mechanism to edit a new chassis the new ID in it. So while an organization, while I'm purchasing 10 devices, my licensing from Viptela or Cisco says I need 10 vEdges license. What Cisco will do, they'll take one vEdge list file include with 10 chassis IDs and they will ship to us. So we will have to use only that 10. If we try to modify 10 to 11, it's not permitted. So if I want to go with 10 more devices, again, I need to reach Cisco, pay the amount for another 10 devices, 20 devices updated vEdge list file we need to download, we need to get it and upload into vManage, then we can provision for new more 10 devices. So like the vEdge list file is completely enhanced with Cisco and then Viptela based on the number of entries they placed, and we will be able to add number of devices in our fabric. Same situation.
So
Yeah, it's trying to automatically reconnect. I lost the host privilege. I now look into a CA certificate. I install my enterprise CA and I will issue the certificate from enterprise CA itself, which is more than enough. All controllers
that's
will take
fine.
the
So
enterprise obtain. Even we just can obtain from them as well. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that is fine.
when it comes to physical box, you said it will come with a combination of Abnet and Symantec, right?
Mm.
So, what is the purpose of having two certificate on the box?
No, there are no two certificate for the device. One certificate
Mhm.
is for the device, which is signed by AVNet. So AVNet is a device certificate, and to trust Symantec certificate, for example, from the controllers, root CA is a Symantec. So root certificate like Symantec root certificates or Symantec certificates should be trusted. So root CA certificate in the trust chain will be Symantec. Device certificate is AVNet.
Okay. So for the physical box, we don't have to install any. We don't have to install any certificate. Only for VM is what we are worried, right?
Yes, for the physical boxes, what is
So
our worry is we have to update the root certificate. If controllers are obtained the certificate from Symantec and Edge's root certificate trust is with the Symantec, so nothing to worry about it. Suppose controllers obtain the certificate from Enterprise CA, what we need to do? We need to go to the Vantage and on the Vantage update root CA certificate database for our enterprise root certificate. So we have to update root certificate for enterprise CA in the Vanages. That is the one task we need to do it, and the vice versa in
we don't
controllers.
need the root certificate for Symantec on controllers.
Not needed because from Viptela software itself, this is provided. But before that, you make sure that the Viptela software again, it version will change. In Viptela, Symantec will be there in the root path, and then Avnet will be available in the root path. And Cisco, when we go with Cisco software, Cisco iOS, they don't get certificate from Symantec or they don't get certificate from Avnet. So Cisco uses Cisco certificate itself. So some places of old images, Cisco obtained the certificate from DigiCert CA, and some boxes Cisco provided certificate comes in. So we have to cross check it. So the device certificate is by Cisco or device certificate is by DigiCert on C edges, and for the Viptela boxes whether they are available with AVNet. So make sure that what device certificate and which CA provided certificate based on that root certificate database we try to obtain modify it. That's the agenda. That's the idea behind this. Nothing else.
So since you said there is no more devices which is being sold by in the name of Viptela, it's all CHs, right? So
Right.
with CH, what is the certificate we follow? Is it DigiCert or we are following Cisco certificate, Cisco CA?
It depends on the hardware. Okay, even some Cisco hardwares use Cisco provided certificate as a device certificate, and some Cisco devices will have the certificate from DigiCert. You make sure that what device certificate is placed in it. Because I even I cannot exactly tell you like this boxes have only certificate from Cisco, this boxes will have certificate from DigiCert. But as an in a complete information, each physical box should be available with its unique device certificate. Make sure that which CA provided certificate it's available with it.
So it's available in the data sheet, or we need to log into the device and check.
No, we need to log in into the device and then we can check it. And also basic data sheet provided from Cisco will give you like this the device certificate installed on the specific hardware or in the box. So either we can get the
Okay.
product information from the Cisco or we can log in into the box to test it.